Today's sponsor is a new shaving company called the House of Atlas. They gifted me one of their razors, and honestly, I am blown away. Not only does it look insanely sleek as it sits in my bathroom, but it also gives me a very close shave. With House of Atlas, I feel I have taken my hygiene routine to a whole new level. Let me tell you guys this. Shaving is no longer a chore. I now genuinely look forward to it. First off, the Atlas razor has stainless steel US-made blades, and they're spaced apart enough that it barely clogs. That means fewer stops to rinse and a faster shave. I've also been loving their precision shave cream because it seriously leaves my skin feeling soft. And if you want to pick one up in person, House of Atlas is available at Target stores nationwide. But for a limited time, I want to offer you 20% off site-wide. Plus, they're even going to include free shipping. Just go to houseofatlas.com. Use my code Chael at checkout. You got it when you check out. Say you got it from Chael. That's going to get you 20% off plus free shipping, anything on the site. Plus, House of Atlas is available at Target stores nationwide. I want you to visit houseofatlas.com, and I want you to do it today. If you want to make it even simpler, I've attached a link below. Eddie Hall versus Dillon Danis. Like, this is a topic that won't go away, and frankly, I don't want it to. I love it. But I can't totally explain to you why. I can't fully express it here. Hear me out on this. Like, Pride used to do this. This is not this is not Dana White's type of thing. Dana is very organized, and it is to serve a purpose, and that purpose is one, to identify the best in the world under this skill set. Pride used to do this, where they would just take some huge guy, and they'd put him with somebody much smaller. Or they would take a huge guy that's a white belt, and put him with a small guy that was a black belt. And the story just told itself. And by the way, it was interesting, and it usually went the way that you would think it would go, which is the skilled guy. I mean, that's what Royce Gracie showed us on day one. Size doesn't matter, understanding and skill does. But over time, it wasn't always that clear, and there was something about it that was compelling. That's my only argument. But we're facing this twice. We're facing this twice right now. We're facing this with Eddie Hall versus Dillon Danis. Okay, let me break down the tail of the tape. Eddie Hall is huge and athletic, and he is as game as anyone. Do whatever you want with Eddie. Believe that you can beat him. Believe you can outsmart him. Do whatever you want with him. Don't try and scare him. He doesn't get scared. He is not worried about outcome. I love this about Eddie Hall. He is one of the few guys in the room that will actually go out and do it any way you want to. He'll arm wrestle you. He'll bench press off with you. He'll jump and do pull-ups. He'll run you in a 100-yard sprint. Like, whatever you want to do. Eddie Hall is your guy. And if you thought you were going to bluff him, you picked the wrong guy. Okay. But then you have Dillon Danis, and Dillon Danis is multifaceted. I mean, 1, he's a character. 2, he is loved. 3, he is a character. And 4, he is hated. I get that I use character twice, but some people love the character and some people despise it, but he can evoke an emotion as well as anybody. When you bring in people that know who Dillon Danis is, they do not then have a neutral opinion. They are very strong one way or the other. And it's interesting. Now, Dillon Danis, aside from the character and the emotion that he is able to invoke, has a very real set of skills. He went 20 minutes at Abu Dhabi with Gordon Ryan. No points. They had to turn to the job. I mean, this guy's got a very real set of skills. So you got a big guy, game as anybody. You got a much smaller guy, real set of skills. Like, this story's been told so many times, and there's something about that that's fascinating. And I really don't know if this is going to go anywhere. I just know if you think that a promoter wouldn't book that, you would be wrong. If you think there's not an audience there for that, you would be wrong. If you think Eddie Hall isn't going to do that, you would be wrong. If you think Dillon's not there, like, it's one of these things where we've got all of the ingredients, but somebody's kind of questioning it now. When I tell you this isn't the first time that we're seeing this, it's not the first time right now. This is the exact same story that's being told with Jake Paul taking on Tank Davis. And it's not as though within Jake Paul, he doesn't know what he's doing. He does have an understanding. He has been in there. He does have some very real skills. He has been tested at the highest of levels, some of which he's passed and some of which he's not. But that sounds a lot like Eddie Hall. I don't declare for you that he's a master, but please don't tell me back that he has no understanding. And it does make things a lot more interesting. How much of an understanding do you need to succeed if you are the much bigger, stronger animal? That's been questioned many times. There was a time in our sport when jiu-jitsu ruled the day. From day one in our sport, right? Royce Gracie, on day one, showed jiu-jitsu ruled the day. But then there were some very good jiu-jitsu people, very good, that said for MMA, you need a purple belt. That's all you need. If you have, this was a time, and I'm going back, very late 90s and early 2000s, but very good people. Frank Shamrock, for example, said if you were a high school wrestler and your opponent's a black belt in jiu-jitsu and you're a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, but he didn't wrestle in high school, he just used it as high school. He said, you've got enough, you will beat him. You will be the one that is on top, and a purple belt that has the ability to do strikes, right? An MMA environment is enough to understand, nullify, and defeat a black belt. You had Mike Tyson come out and say, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. You had Rickson Gracie come out and say, if you take a black belt and you punch him one time, he is now a brown belt. If you punch him again, he will be a purple belt. If you punch him again, he will become a white belt. I mean, these are interesting concepts. And it does take a level of durability. It takes an MMA environment in the streets when people use that example. What they're really talking about when they talk about in a street fight, what they're really talking about is something that happens very quickly and explosive and is ended after a relatively short period of time. Somebody stepping in and breaking this up. Maybe you got 30 seconds. That's probably a little long even. Many of you have seen some kind of an altercation like a street fight. But very few of you could tell me that you saw it last for 30 seconds or more. It's usually something very quick and explosive. Whoever goes first, whoever's got to move, and it gets broken up, and then you look at him real fast. Okay, this guy got punched 3 times. That means he lost. Like, it's just really tough. The other guy's going, it just started blindsiding me. Give me some more time. Well, it doesn't work that way in a street fight, right? One guy gets his rip shirt off, and the other guy's fine. One guy's got a bloody nose, and the other guy doesn't. Like, there's some tells that don't really tell you who the better fighter was, who the more skilled athlete was. There's some things that happen in a street fight where we declare a winner just by looking at him. Oh, by the way, and it lasted about 9 seconds. So there is something about that. Where the guy historically, even in MMA, even Royce Gracie. Royce versus Dan Severn would be a fine example. Dan was a lot of things. Very good and accomplished in wrestling. He was not any of those things in jiu-jitsu. So he was able to drag it on for a meaningful period of time. And one thing that Royce had to do was to have the durability. He had to sustain until that tipping point of knowledge, experience, and understanding could finally be exposed. It made it a very fascinating deal. And Dillon, I believe, would have to sustain. I mean, Eddie Hall, that's a real animal that has an understanding, which requires a focus and a level of discipline by Dillon Danis to get the jump on somebody in an event that is just explosive and quick. It was hard for anyone to do against Eddie Hall, who is the strongest man on the earth. Like, there's just something about this match that I really like it. And there's something about this match where you guys like it. But when we get confronted with the exact same thing, which is Tank Davis versus Jake Paul, we come to the conclusion that we don't like it. Jake should be fighting people his own size. And I feel it too. Apparently, my hypocrisy, much like yours, has no bounds.